Hello, everyone. Welcome to another scene for the Sept of Forgotten Stories, a Werewolf the Apocalypse venue set in Dublin, Ireland. We have another scene with Maeve O'Brien, who is bringing a new arrival to meet with her father.
Yes, she's also probably got her brother with her. That or he's meeting them there.
Um, he would be with her, actually. So,
He was probably in a little bit of disbelief at first.
oh, he totally was. He had to have her explain that a couple of times. He was like, what now? You did what?
But yes, they are now on their way to their father's house. And they are meeting Miss Cordelia there.
Yep.
Because she has a rental car. Because she went and got one of those because she's going to be here a while.
Yeah, she is. Nate is relatively silent on the drive. I think he's still in a little bit of shock. Um,
Shock, disbelief.
mhm. All of it. He will actually say to her, "Okay, can you just one more time tell me how the fuck you manage this?"
If I'm being honest, I'm not
Oh,
really
so
sure
you're
myself.
so you're just as shocked as I am.
I mean, to be fair, I said I'd believe it when I saw it, and, well,
I,
here we are.
I guess he takes a deep breath. I hope that he sticks with it.
I certainly hope so, too.
'Cause, I'd like you to meet the man that I had as my father for the first 5 years of my life.
Here and your timing is impeccable.
Right?
You had been laying there silent this whole time.
He knows when, shit gets emotional. So,
Right? I'd sure like to meet him, too.
he reaches over and takes her hand and squeezes it.
It's not to say you were a whole lot better.
He nods. I know.
Mr. fucks off and hides in the umbra. She is smiling. She's not super serious about that.
It still stings him because he knows. But, he was a teenager. He didn't know what else to do, honestly. I just. I'm sorry.
It's alright. Once Bailey and them got here, it got a lot easier.
He'll nod. It did. I still didn't come out of the Ember much, but it was more than I was.
That's because you had an incredibly inappropriate crush on my crush's sister.
I um, he blushes fucking deep red. That's why he didn't act on it. I knew that it. No. But now she's my fucking mate.
Yes, she is.
And he smiles widely at that.
And you sure are so sickeningly sweet. I can't stand it.
Oh, you and Bailey are no better. You just get all four of us in the same room and, you know.
I know, right?
Jesus Christ.
His timing is fucking perfect.
Anyway, it would be nice to have Da back.
It'll be nice to have one. Sebastian's been there, but
He's not the same. And
they were my parents well before Bailey became a mate.
he nods. I know. And Alyssa kept coming into the Umbra and telling me that it was the same for me as it was for you, but it took me a lot longer.
You know, she is kind of glancing over at her phone, which is acting as a GPS.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are headed to the new facility that Cordelia purchased.
No, I thought they were going to Owen.
Oh yeah, they gotta go pick him up first. She probably created a route that, you know, included stopping at their father's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Time to go see if he's been drinking since I left.
Nate doesn't seem too hopeful.
She will get out of the van. Because, you know, she loves her van.
Mm-hmm.
If her father pukes in her van, she will fucking end him.
Her van is amazing.
Her van is amazing. It is so Maeve, it is almost painful.
Yeah. So they get there, which Nate decides to go ahead and knock on the door just to see. He's not expecting an answer because there's never an answer. But actually, after about a minute, the door opens. Not even a minute. Well, it's like probably 30 seconds. And
The look of shock on Maeve's face.
Owen, he looks like he's seen better days, but he also doesn't look like he's been drinking. So, um, but he's definitely going through some alcohol withdrawals.
Oh yeah, which is not a fun process.
Mm-mm. Nope. He's
I mean,
shaking.
significantly better than, other drugs, but
Yeah, but you still shake and sweat and all that. It's not. It's just
withdrawals are never pleasant.
nope. Nope, they're not. And he steps aside for them to come in.
I told you I was going to talk to Alyssa.
He nods. You did.
We found someone.
He looks to her.
She's a child of Gaia Therge.
He nods.
She's apparently an old friend of Alyssa's.
He nods that, and he in his mind is like when he thinks that the children of Gaia are like a fucking secret club where they all know each other. Like,
She apparently specializes in drug and alcohol rehab for Kin and Garu.
okay.
And as it turns out, she'd been looking to open up a second facility. And she chose Dublin.
What kind of fucking happy coincidence is that?
I think that might have been predicated on coming here to help.
Okay. Um, should have for me.
Well, she apparently also treats non-Garu and Kin, but the majority of her clients are Garu and Kin.
Okay.
She's got one facility in New York.
He kind of furrows his brow a little bit and looks to her. New York wasn't Saoirse there.
She nods. Apparently, she was friends with her sister, Adriana.
Oh well. A small fucking world.
That it is. And now her daughter is apparently a cub.
Wow.
Tiniest little thing I've ever fucking seen. And that's coming from me.
Nate notices that Owen is shaking to the point where he's having trouble standing, so he'll help him stand up, stay up.
Come on. Let's get you out to my van. I'm gonna go get a bucket, because if you puke in my van, I'm gonna kill you.
I haven't eaten anything, so it should be okay.
Doesn't mean you can't puke. You can still puke up straight bile.
It's
and that's
dry.
even worse.
It's just dry even at this point.
She is gonna go get him a bottle of water and a bucket. Just in
Well,
case.
as soon as he drinks the water, it's going to come back up.
She's also going to give him some of her. She has her little, toolkit of herbalist goodies, and she will drop some of the anti-nausea under his tongue.
When she does that and the relief hits him, he looks to her and he says, "Have I told you lately how much I fucking love you?"
Now, go on, shoo, get in the back. This is probably the first time he's actually seen the inside of her van.
Probably. And he mutters under his breath, "Of course, it's like a fucking shaggin' wagon. She's a goddamn Fiona."
She turns so fucking red.
Nate just grins and he nods, has a point. It is a shaggin' wagon.
It wasn't up until. You know what? Shut up.
Well, it is now. Even if that's not what it was meant for before.
Yes, and it wasn't used for that up until, 4 months ago.
He shrugs.
Unlike most Fiona, I'm not, flitting around with a dozen different boys.
Neither am I.
No.
Nate will say.
No, we're both just choosing fucking Shadow Lords.
I'm not. Nope. He shakes his head. Maeve probably didn't know that they haven't had sex yet.
No, she didn't.
Avery wants to wait till marriage, and I'm respecting that.
She smiles.
Even Owen smiles at that.
Though she's sitting here thinking, we'll see how long that lasts.
Well, it's been, what, 3 months now?
They've made it 3 months.
It's either he's going to marry her fast, or it's not going to happen.
But yeah, and then once everyone's back in the van, she will turn the GPS back on and follow the directions into the city.
Follow the yellow brick road.
And
Yeah,
apparently the facility is in Dublin proper.
Since Owen's nausea symptoms have alleviated, he downs that entire bottle of water and lays back in the seat like, oh, fuck.
There's a mini fridge under the table. It's got more waters in it.
Yeah, he gets another one. He hasn't been able to keep anything down since he stopped drinking 3 days ago. But he kept his word. He hasn't drank as much as he's fucking wanted to. He hasn't.
There's also nothing else in the mini fridge except for water and some cold tea.
Nah, he sticks to the water. Nope.
Yeah, because the teas aren't labeled. She knows what they are. No one else does.
That's fucking funny.
Yep, they're cold and bottled, but, they're not labeled, so no one but her knows what they are. Except maybe Bailey.
Bailey probably does because he bugged her about it enough.
Exactly.
He's just probably like, just fucking tell me what these are, please. I don't
Like, I don't want to accidentally drink one of your fucking lactation teas or some shit.
Right. So yeah, Owen just downs water like he hasn't had water in like years,
But she
which
probably hasn't.
he really hasn't. Nope.
Except for when Maeve comes to visit and, forces
Makes
him to drink water and take some Advil.
Yep. So
Because, as her father called her the hangover fairy.
she really was the hangover fairy.
So as they pull up, this woman is standing outside the facility waiting on them.
Nate gets out and introduces himself. I'm Nathan O'Brien, Owen's son, Maeve's brother.
Cordelia Hartford Belmont. Dr. Cordelia Hartford Belmont.
He smiles.
Dual PhD in medicine and psychiatry.
His brows go up. That's impressive.
Well, a large part of drug and alcohol rehabilitation treatment is the mental aspect.
He nods, of course. I was going to be a doctor. I still might. I don't know. I wanted to do sports medicine, physical therapy.
Then we'd have two doctors in the family.
He smiles. Owen tries to get out, but because of the angle and everything and how badly he's shaking, it's not working very well.
Yeah, Cordelia will come over and aid him in getting out of the van. She is probably wearing a set of scrubs.
When he looks to her, he kind of blinks. And of course, he accepts the help.
All right, let's get you all checked in.
He nods. Okay.
Once they are inside and on the in the kind of triage area where they take blood and whatnot, she will, do her full introduction.
Mm-hmm.
I am Cordelia Hartford Belmont. Deeded calls back the lost. Born on 2 legs under a crescent moon. Author of the Children of Gaia.
Nate smiles and he gives her a respectful nod and he will do his full introduction. Nathan O'Brien, deeded Stag's Pride. I was born on 2 legs under a crescent moon, and I'm a foster of the Fiona.
I thought he was an Adrian.
Or Adrian, yeah, sorry. I'm tired. Adrian of Fiona.
Well, there's someone he can challenge.
All right.
She will give a respectful nod. She is currently knelt down, taking blood.
Owen is sort of not looking at that.
Yeah, he does not even, if he's not looking, he doesn't even feel the needle go in.
Oh, good. He's just like, nope, can't handle that right now. But he doesn't move other than whatever involuntary movements he's making.
So she gets the rest of his vitals and
Which, he would be having the typical symptoms of alcohol withdrawal,
mm-hmm.
elevated heart rate, and all of that.
Keep an eye on your heart rate. It's a little high, but that's normal.
I've felt like my heart's going to beat out of my chest for about the last 3 days.
Yeah, an elevated heart rate's normal with withdrawals.
He nods. I figured. Still doesn't make it fun.
No, of course not. Okay. The rest of check-in is mostly going to be paperwork. I will take you to your room. She will lead them to one of the private rooms. This particular floor is Garu and Ken only.
They both nod. That's good.
The Garu have their own section that I am having reinforced.
Nate nods at that. That's very good.
As withdrawals can do some rather nasty things to Garu, so
Owen will nod at that. Like, I I can only imagine what this might do to Garu. I He shakes his head.
she nods because she's been through that with her sister.
hmm Nate is very thankful that he did not go down the alcohol route.
Uh, you're allowed to keep your clothes. If you prefer, though, we provide scrubs. They're actually kind of comfortable.
He'll nod and he'll say, I'd probably give those a try. I don't think that we actually thought to bring anything with us for me. And Nate will shake his head. No, no, we didn't, but I can bring his stuff back.
The room is fully furnished, obviously. Yeah, there's a full-size bed, a dresser.
So as soon as Owen locates the bathroom, he goes in there because he downed a whole bunch of water on the way over. He has to pee.
Hang on. She taps on the little metal thing next to the door of the bathroom. Do me a favor while you're doing that.
Oh,
Your example, please.
yeah. He nods. He knew that was coming.
Thank you.
He takes it. He's in there for a minute.
So while he's in there, I will go over rules with you two. First 2 weeks is no visitors. That's
Nate
the
frowns.
kind of breaking down stage.
Nate will nod, but he frowns.
It's only 2 weeks.
I know.
Once those 2 weeks are up, as long as they have made satisfactory progress, which, given that he's already 3 days sober, should be good. He'll be allowed visitors. I am working on getting the rest of the building set up. He's technically our first patient at this facility.
Nate will smile.
Luckily, I can afford to renovate as we go and only have 1 or 2 patients here because of my funding from the other facility. Inpatient treatment will be 90 days. After that, I generally ask that they follow up with outpatient treatment at least once a month, if not come to weekly therapy sessions.
Nate will nod. Given how long he's been an alcoholic, I would, at least at this point, say that weekly sessions after would be needed.
Yes.
He's been like this for 20 years.
All right, yes, I would require weekly sessions for him then. We could wean that down to every 2 weeks and a month later, but
Nate will nod.
I don't fucking do that.
Sorry.
But yes, to start with, definitely weekly.
He nods and looks to Maeve.
She smiles at her brother.
Well, you shouldn't have the twins before he gets out.
I certainly hope not.
Well, you're 4 months now. 3 months is 7 months, and twins are known to be early.
That's a little early for my liking.
I mean, mine too, but I have. Anyway, that's what I'm saying, is that you shouldn't have them before he gets out.
Well, let's see. And rather than allowing him to be released for Christmas, I would ask that you guys come here.
All right, we can bring the Yule celebration here.
She kind of keeps glancing over at the door.
Yeah, he finally comes out.
Because it's been a while and she was starting to get concerned.
He really had to pee. There was a lot.
Maeve probably going to have to replenish her mini fridge.
Probably. But he also spent a good minute or two fussing over where to put the sample.
Did there was that metal box is like two-way. There's one side that goes into the bathroom and there's one side outside the bathroom.
Yeah, but he, a little disoriented, so it took him a minute to figure that out.
True.
Like, oh, right, there it is. Okay. So he finally comes out, washes his hands.
I'm starting to think you fell in.
No, not quite. I he kind of blushes with embarrassment. I couldn't find where to put it at first. Nate just he smiles and tries really hard not to laugh.
Cordelia can't help but let out a little giggle.
He looks over to her. What?
Your wording for that could have been infinitely better.
I'm sure it probably could have.
As you have two kids, I'm fairly certain you know where to put it.
He blushes deeply. Nate is just dying now. Yeah, Owen is so red.
I was just discussing rules with the kids.
He nods and what are those?
So, inpatient treatment is 90 days, 3 months.
I figured that much.
First 2 weeks is no visitors. After that, visitors are allowed at any hour within reason. If the staff are not here, they're not allowed here.
Of course.
Once the first 90 days are up, I do require follow-up outpatient treatment.
He nods.
Given your history, we will probably do weekly therapy sessions with myself.
Okay.
We can slowly work that down to every 2 weeks and eventually monthly.
He nods. He's just listening.
You'll probably be one of the only patients to start out with, unless I bring some of my patients over from New York, as the facility is not officially open yet. How I just bought the building 2 days ago.
Wow. That's okay.
Um, I had been looking into making a second facility anyway, so I figured if I was going to be here for a while, what better place?
Owen will nod. Well, I hear that you know some people here anyway, so
I do. Alyssa and I go a long way back.
he nods. Well, I'm glad that she called you because I want to get better.
She nods. Well, that's what
Nate
we're going to try to do.
Nate will smile at that.
I have a pretty good track record.
He Owen will say, "Well, I mean, if you've got one facility and are able to up and open another one, I'd say so."
Indeed. Um, I'm gonna go get the paperwork for these two.
He'll nod. Of course.
Yeah, just go fuck off and go get the paperwork.
Nate bites his lip and looks at Maeve.
She's trying very hard to hide the huge fucking smile on her face.
Owen sort of rubs his face, shakes his head. He goes and sits down on the bed.
It's
Oh,
actually
this is,
quite a comfy bed.
yeah, he kind of like gives it a bounce. Oh, this isn't too bad. Nate shakes his head and grins.
You're such a fucking ragabash.
He looks to her. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm kinfolk.
You act like a ragabash.
Never mind the fact that that's what I would have been if I changed.
Why am I not fucking surprised?
He laughs.
Not fucking surprised at all.
I think either way, my dad still would have hated me.
Well, then he's an idiot. She comes over and kisses his forehead.
He smiles. Nate will come over and give him a hug, which Owen will return tightly.
She's gonna slip out real quick and go talk to Cordelia and give her some herbal things that her father's probably going to need. And give Nathan a minute to, poke his dad about holy shit.
Right? Yeah, which he's gonna. He's gonna look to him and he's gonna be like, so, um, did you feel anything when you were looking at her? And Owen blushes and shakes his head and then looks to Nate and says, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking nope. Nate shakes his head. Well, you're a really bad liar, you know that, right? And that's where I get it from, actually.
That's where Maeve gets it.
Owen will nod. I've never been a very good liar. And he'll say to Nate, I did, but she's my therapist, so I don't think that anything is going to be appropriate this time. And Nate will shrug and he'll say, You're the only patient in the facility, Da. And he claps his shoulder. And no one looks shocked.
I think that's the most Fiona thing he's ever said.
Right? Yeah, Owen will even be like, How very Fiona of you to say that. Wow. And Nate will shrug his shoulders. I know what I see and feel. Why not? You've been alone long enough. Owen kind of looks down. And he'll nod. I'll consider it. Nate will smile. Good. And he'll hug him again.
And these two slowly make their way back. Cordelia with, a new arsenal of herbalist concoctions.
Didn't Maeve say anything to Cordelia?
She does not know Cordelia enough to, poke the bear.
That is fair.
She knew her better, quite possibly, but she doesn't yet, so she's not going to poke that just yet.
That is fair. She might later.
Oh, yeah. Once she gets to know her better, she'll be poking that like, hey.
Well, both of them are going to be chuckling when they read the reports. Like, responds well to therapy. I'm sure he does.
But yes, they both come back in, and there's a rather thick-looking packet full of paperwork that needs to be done.
Owen groans when he sees that.
Your daughter has done most of the paperwork.
Oh,
She did it for you yesterday.
you are a gift straight from Gaia, you know that.
She smiles. Gotten used to doing your paperwork.
He nods. Again, you are a gift straight from Gaia.
I mean, there were only a couple of things I didn't know the answers to, so I left them blank.
Well, hopefully I know the answers to them. If not, we might be in trouble.
That's mostly family history questions.
He frowns. He really doesn't want to talk about his family at
Uh,
all.
by family history, I mean health-wise. Given that you're kin, you can inherit some of the nastiness that normal people get, high blood pressure, things like that.
I don't know that there was any of that.
Alright, good. Then we can ignore that, and you can sign anywhere there's an X.
And he will begin the daunting task of signing about probably what 30 pages.
Mhm.
Ugh.
And
About halfway
you would
through,
see, you know, Maeve's fucking handwriting is absolutely immaculate.
right. About halfway through, he looks around to everyone and is like, I feel like that my hand's gonna fall off.
Well, trust me, typing it into the computer is no easier. I wish they would just let me use a tablet and go from there, but
Or you could hire a glasswalker
hmm, could do. Could do.
because they can probably. He shakes his head. They could probably do it a lot faster and then save you the headache.
Yes, I have a couple of glass walkers at my facility in New York. I just haven't hired a whole lot of staff here yet. So it's just little old me and a couple of nurses.
Nate just grins at that, to which Owen gives him a fucking look. Like, shut up. God. And he goes back to signing the papers. His face red. Just, yep, it's red.
Once he finishes, she'll take it into her office, which is just down the hall from the patient rooms.
Owen will look to Nathan and he will say, "You are a little shit." And Nate will smile proudly and he'll say, "Probably just like you." And Owen will shake his head. Oh, fuck.
Cordelia comes back. She's got a bag that has, several pairs of scrubs, slippers, socks.
He will take the bag from her.
I guesstimated size, so I hope they fit.
They should. Thank you.
Um,
Nate will look to Maeve and then look to Cordelia. If if you don't have anything else that you need from us, we should probably get going.
No, I think all the paperwork is done. Everything else is ready to go. So if you two would like to go, you are perfectly okay to go. I think I can handle things from here.
Nate's thinking to himself, I'm sure you can. He's so bad. Oh my god. He will give his father another hug, in which his father will squeeze him a little tighter than he would have otherwise.
Maeve will also come over and give her father a hug.
He will hug her back a lot more gingerly.
Yeah, because pregnant.
Right. And she's not the one being a shithead. I suppose I will see the two of you in a couple of weeks. Nate will nod. Of course you will. As soon as we can visit. I'll even drag your brother along with us. And Owen smiles. I would really like that. And
I will see you in 2 weeks.
Owen will smile. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't get in too much trouble.
Oh, booger. I might not be here in 2 weeks. There's some stuff that happened on Sept that I started investigating and has led me to a get Sept.
Owen
So I'm
blinks.
gonna be paying them a visit.
Owen blinks. You're going to get Federcept? And
Maybe.
Nate knows about this, so he squeezes his father's shoulder and he looks to him and he says, "It's okay. The particular sept that she's going to is very safe for her to be at. It's Freya's beauty. They follow Freya." And Owen sort of furrows his brow. He knows enough about Norse mythology to know who Freya is and what she's about. She's a very common deity, so
Mm-hmm.
um okay. Please be careful.
I'll tell you the same thing I told my mate. I'll be fine, but I will be careful.
And Nate will say, and I'll make sure that she has extra spiritual protection. Which Owen will smile. You better. You are her big brother. And he'll give him one more hug before Nate will take Maeve out.
Yep.
And they will go back and probably gossip the entire way about the
Oh, yes, they
possibility
fucking will.
of Owen and Cordelia. Owen, when they leave, will look to her. Thank you for agreeing to help.
Well, anyone who Alyssa considers family, I do too. And your daughter's among those lucky enough that Alyssa considers them family.
He nods. He's aware. He was aware enough to know that she'd been there for Maeve, and well, I'm very grateful. I'm glad that Maeve had her. He shakes his head. He spent a lot of time thinking the last few days, and he is feeling very shameful about the way he's been the past 20 years.
Oh, she did give me some herbal remedies that you need for sleep, I believe.
He nods and the look of relief. I yeah, I can't sleep without that. That's a big reason why I drank, because I couldn't sleep.
She nods. Well, we've got it here now, so when you're ready to go to sleep, just come and let me know. I will be getting paperwork done to start remodeling this place.
He nods. Okay.
I do have a small kitchen staff, thankfully.
He smiles. That's good.
Because I am not a terribly great cook myself, so.
Well, my daughter's mate is a chef, so
Part of the reason, probably one of the reasons my husband and I ended up divorcing. Oh well.
he frowns because he can't cook. That's
I can't cook. He was incredibly jealous of the fact that I was Garu and he was Kin.
oh, for fuck's sake. He shakes his head. There ain't a damn thing wrong with being Ken. Wish somebody had told my father that, but that's neither here nor there.
She smiles.
My father was not a nice man. But he shakes his head. Um, Bailey, Alyssa's son. So if you need help, I'm sure he'd be willing to help you.
I could certainly use it. The kitchen staff isn't very big, and
And from what I understand, he's probably going to need something to keep him busy while Maeve is gone because I he bites his lip. If they're anything like me and their mother were, he's going to go insane. So,
Um, yes, we have a small kitchen staff. We have cleaning staff that will come in, take the linens anytime you need it.
he nods.
Given how much you're going to be sweating over the next couple of days, they'll probably be in every morning to change them.
Oh, how many more fucking days of sweating do I have? I'm so tired of it.
I can understand that. I also have the nausea stuff that Maeve made.
Good. Because I was able to actually drink water. Why I spent so long in the bathroom.
Yes, and you've, anyway, trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about. There is a fenced-in area in the back where you can go out during the day and get a little sun.
He'll say, "Do you have sunscreen?" Because I mean, just look at me. I haven't seen the sun in like years.
I think I can scrounge some up.
Otherwise, I'll just stay inside.
I'm sure I can scrounge up some sunscreen.
He'll smile and nod. Okay. Um. Well, I won't keep you. You need to go do the
Um, I will go ahead and show you where my office is. That way you can come get me if you need anything.
He'll nod. Okay.
She will walk him down. It's probably only just to the end of the hallway.
Mm. Which he will, make mental note of for sure. Okay. I now know where your office is.
Yes, you do. She kind of bites her lip a little bit.
He blushes when he notices her do that. Uh, oh, I guess I'll go back to my room.
Uh, yeah, feel free to come get me for anything you need.
He nods.
They
And
should be bringing dinner by soon.
okay, thank you. And he will somewhat reluctantly go back into his room.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with him going back to his room and her trying to focus on paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
we will go ahead and call the scene here. So, thank you, player, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time. Goodbye.